Welcome back, everybody, to the Presence and Play podcast. I'm Lauren Folan, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today, we're going to be talking all about consciousness, the importance of awareness, sacred unions, sacred relationships in general, and what it means to be in a conscious relationship with a partner, with your kids, with a friend, with the stranger on the street, and the importance of bringing awareness and consciousness and intention to all of these aspects of our lives that we kind of overlook and are never really taught how to intuitively and wholeheartedly intertwine and connect with another individual. So let's just get right into all the juiciness of this. And first, I just want to bring awareness to what is awareness, right? What is consciousness? What is this intention, and why is our attention so important in this life? Well, in general, our consciousness is our energy. It's our awareness. It's our focus. It's the power of our mind and our thoughts. And when we talk about expanding consciousness, we're talking about growing and expanding our perspectives and our perceptions of this reality in this earth. So we can have a very limited view and awareness of reality, or a rigid and dogmatic or patriarchic or singular view, or as we go on this journey of this path of expansion, of evolution of the soul, and awaken and remember our body-soul connection, our consciousness, our perceptions, our perspectives expand, they grow, they get larger, they get more broad and welcoming of other realities and ways to look at the world. So why is our attention and our awareness so important? Because universal law, for one, as you believe, so it will be. Your belief systems truly create the world around you. They create this reality. They create this physicality, and what you believe, you attract. So what you think and put all of your focus on subconsciously, mostly, not so much consciously, right? We can do all the vision boards in the world. But if you truly on a subconscious inner child level do not believe and align with what you consciously think, it's not going to manifest for you. So our awareness and where we put our focus and our attention is actually our superpower. As humans, we're the neurons of this world. And I actually had a challenging couple months a little bit ago of what is our purpose here? Not even my purpose, but what is the purpose of the human? Because if you look at the bigger picture, we are the only animal who sucks the life out of every other being, I should say. We are gluttonous. We don't take care of the earth. And even a stranger on the street will walk by them, will pretend that travesties don't exist. And even the people we love, if you aren't aware and if you're living around unconsciously, so many people are in partnerships because they think the person across from them or the person sleeping next to them at night attains qualities that they can't. And generally what happens, if you're not aware, you will suck that quality out of this person that you love until there's nothing left. And then that's a lot of times when divorce happens and separation happens, because we are unconsciously trying to seek or fill ourselves with someone else because we think we're broken. We'll get more into that later on as we delve deeper into relationships. But I was going through this time of what is the point of humanity in existence? The earth would be a better place without it as a whole. And through some deep journey, and my answers came too, and some deep meditation, some deep breath works, some deep space in the darkness. And we are truly the neurons of this planet. We're the gatekeepers. We are the protectors of Earth. And unfortunately, majority of us are unconsciously living in this earth, and that's why you see a lot of pain and destruction and horror as we do. But if more people were to be conscious, everything could change. And we don't have the super strength that a lion has or an elephant has. We can't fly like a bird. We can't breathe in carbon dioxide like a tree and make it oxygen. Even an ant, right? We think we're so strong and powerful. Even an ant per body size has more strength than we do. They carry these leaves and sticks. I don't even know how they carry them, honestly, and walk at the same time, right? But none of these things are our superpower. What our superpower is our attention, is our awareness, is our focus. And we truly have the power to create whatever reality we want and manifest these realities into fruition through the power of our attention and thoughts. And unfortunately, we live in a world where we don't even think about this, right? We are okay with having the attention span of a goldfish, of scrolling every 5 seconds, of having a 6-second attention span. That's where we're at right now. And if we were only to harness the power of our focus and our attention through meditation, through these practices that strengthen the mind and strengthen our awareness and expand our consciousness, can you imagine what could happen? We would unlock the 90% of our brain that is deemed junk. We would unlock the junk DNA that's so-called labeled within ourselves and operate at such a high heart-opening, heart consciousness, expansive state of being. It would be unbelievable. What would that look like? It would be people living in community with open hearts and divinity and taking care of the earth and feeling fulfilled, grateful, and satisfied every single day. Not making choices out of lust and greed and power and fame and all of the other choices we make in life from these lower bodies and lower energies of the self, right? So that is the power of our awareness and our attention. It is the biggest gift to us and has the biggest potential for growth and expansion on an individual level, on a soul level, on a micro level, on a macro level, across the entire earth, across the entire dimension. If we were to harness the power that came here to expand upon, and that's awareness, focus, intention, attention, and consciousness. And as this gift of being the neurons of the earth, that thinking power, it is our purpose. It is our duty. It is what we are truly here to fulfill is to expand this part of the mind, expand and awaken to the body-soul connection, the body, mind, spirit. And it is not outside of ourselves. We always, and even myself sometimes, like connect with your body, connect with your soul. I don't mean that. It's just more for a lack of a better word, honestly. We are already connected. We are already an aspect of God, a fragment of God. The expansiveness is already there. It's just shedding the programs and the patterns and the belief systems that we were brainwashed to have and grew up believing in to reawaken to our truth, that our attention is our superpower, that we have a gift, a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to change this reality as we know it. And right now we are so lost and so disconnected from our truth, our gift, our soul, that we don't see that. But if we awaken to the mind-body connection, if we awaken to our truth, we can change and have the power to change everything. So we have our life force, we have our body, we have our soul and spirit, right? They're all very different things. We have the energies of the entire universe, the logos, if we will, that intertwines together, that we're all talking about, that quantum entanglement proves. we have that aspect of consciousness, the we are one aspect. Then we have our own individual life force, energy, our soul that infuses through us, that is a micro of that macro oneness or spirit of everything, of earth, of trees, of plants, of rocks, of humans, of animals, of everything. And then we have our physical body that houses these energies. There's no disconnection. Rather, we're blind and deaf to what already is being housed within us. Everything is already interplaying together. Matter, mind, energy. It's already interconnected. Our job is to awaken to that interconnectedness, to remember that truth. And when we do so, our consciousness comes online, as well as different aspects of our being come online. And when we integrate this consciousness, this higher self merger, as you will, hear people talk about the higher self all the time. All it is your own intuition coming online. It's awakening what's within you already. It is this merger of consciousness and expansion coming through your being by shedding old layers, old stories, old identities that no longer serve you, traumas and energies and emotion that's stuck in the body. Because repressed emotion and anxiety and anger and frustration don't live in the mind, they live in the body. And that's why the somatic practices, the compassion, the meditation is so important to transcend and process through these energies. But these things are already interconnected together. It's our own internal blockages that keep us from seeing and how shall I say? I keep wanting to say connect with these, but I'm really trying to make a point that we are already connected to them. So I'm going to say coming online, right? It's allows them to come online. It's already in our energy field. It's already within our body. The soul's already there. The higher self merger is already there. But can you just clean off, and like the third eye, right? Clean off the tar that is dulling your frequency. Like if you think of yourself as an antenna, you are the antenna. What radio station are you tuning into? You might have a little gunk on your antenna. So you are picking up a lower vibrational frequency, one of anger, of frustration. And again, I don't like to say that that's a lower vibrational. It's more of just a constrictive, right? So a constrictive energy, I'll say. Is it one of fear? Is it one of shit not going your way? You feel like you're not enough, you're not worthy. It's those beliefs. Then once you shed some of the tar or the gunk that's on your antenna, you start to feel more embodied. You start to feel like you're worthy. You start to feel self-love. You start to understand and embody expansiveness and compassion for yourself. And that's through the removal of old programs, old beliefs, old narratives that you once lived by. So as we expand into these layers of the being, our attention and intention is of the utmost importance because it's what drives the ship. If you focus your attention and put intention, why are you doing what you're doing, right? To expansion, to gratitude, to the life of your dreams, that is going to attract to you through the shedding of old layers and beliefs. So our consciousness and our awareness and our intention is truly the driver of our ship, our reality, the life we live on a day-to-day basis. And if you can strengthen that attention, that awareness, that focus through meditation, through breath work, through the practices, you deepen the connection with your inner being, with your body, with your breath, the wisdom from within and without, right, outside of you, strengthens and your intuition skyrockets. And that's why it's so important. And when we're doing that, the heart opens, the body expands, you start living in flow with your dharma, with your purpose, with your what lights you up in life. And it's when I speak about purpose, it's not so much what you're doing, it's how you're showing up and what you're doing. So you feel embodied, you feel fulfilled, you feel joyful, you feel loved. That is a beautiful, beautiful place to be. I know I like it, right? It's wonderful. And it all comes through harnessing our attention, our intention, our awareness, and our consciousness. And when we start to develop and expand this consciousness, this awareness of self, that's when we can really take it into conscious relationships, conscious partnerships, sacred unions, all of these hot words you hear in Instagram or TikTok or all of those things. They're very true, right? But they're not what you think. So many people talk about twin flames and soulmates and all of these relationships that complete you, right? When it's a spiritual trap, in my point of view, because you are already complete as is. Another person isn't meant to complete you. And like we said before, we're all already connected by that logos energy, that spirit, the intertwined consciousness of the universe, of dimensions, of humanity, of the earth. So if you're saying we're all one, I am you and me, I am that I am, how can someone else complete you? You are whole as is. That other person is just a mirror to you. Yes, they can make your life joyful or support in making your life joyful and fulfilled and exciting and fun, but no, in no way, shape, or form do they complete you. It makes no sense on the soul aspect because there's oversouls that group together and whole logos of consciousness that group together. So having someone say that this person completes me doesn't align with the entire workings of the universe. But we've been told that since we were young. Every Disney movie, every love story is that you complete me. Oh my God, I can't live without you. I can't do it without you. Energy. So you're brought up in this place to believe that that is what's right. And then what happens is many people get into these relationships thinking that's what's supposed to happen. And it's so far from the truth. The person in front of you, the person sleeping next to you is not supposed to complete you. They're not supposed to make you feel loved. You make you feel loved. And when you can embody self-love for yourself, the person across from you, the person next to you, will reflect that back to you tenfold. It's not them, it's you. And most people don't like to hear that. Your relationships are a mirror. They reflect how you feel about yourself, your belief systems, what you believe in, who you are, past traumas, energies, and repressed emotions you hold within. By no way, shape, or form are they there to complete you. So you see this twin flame buzzword and searching for your soulmate. The true soulmate relationship is uniting the divine masculine and feminine energies within yourself to expand into heart consciousness and awaken the divine within. It is no way, shape, or form someone who does that for you. So if you're going into relationships with that mindset, you're going to be very disappointed with the outcome because the person isn't supposed to complete you. You should not expect anything of the person. And it's just a mirror of who you are. And quite honestly, we attract our own traumas and our own repressed emotions. And this person across from you or this person who's standing by your side, I keep saying across from you because I'm thinking out like sitting across from a dinner table for some reason. That keeps coming through. This person that you're in a relationship with is supposed to ignite every pain that you're holding on to. And in the beginning, it's the honeymoon phase, right? It's the, oh my God, this is so beautiful. You complete me. This is so amazing. This is great. Da, 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 da. And that euphoria of high isn't from the person. It's because someone is validating you. Someone is making you feel loved. Someone is making you feel seen. Someone is making you feel heard, maybe for the first time in a long time, or maybe you got out of a heartbreak and jumped into another one and it's filling your cup in that way. But it's filling a void within that you're not filling for yourself, but you need to. So that's why the high of the honeymoon phase is there. Then it might trickle off if you're living in an unconscious relationship. You are just going through the motions, not using the opportunity of the person who's closest to you to show you your deepest wounds. And you can see it in unconscious relationships in the world all around you. People, they just fight, they nag, they complain, it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know how people do it, honestly. And they think it's normal because a large part of society lives in that manner. But it is far from being conscious. And a true sacred union, a true conscious relationship is two individuals committing to each other to grow their soul, to evolve their beings, to grow, change, and act as mirrors for each other, ping pong, to elevate and expand their consciousness. Person's not there to make you whole. They're not there to love you or show you love. You are to do that on your own. And if you jump from relationship to relationship, you're using people as band-aids to fill that void. You're going through that high, that, ooh, I'm loved, I'm validated. People see me, I'm accepted, I'm worthy, I'm enough. But you're never actually looking to the root of the problem within. So when we talk about these conscious relationships, it's using that mirror who reflects your deepest wounds, who reflects if you feel that you're not worthy, if you're in a fight with your argument with your partner because you feel that they're never on your side, or they never defend you, or they never surprise you and take you out to dinners. It's not them. It's them reflecting the fact that you don't feel cared for, you don't feel like you're worthy, and you don't feel enough. So can you go into the inner beings to unite your own divine masculine and feminine within yourself in order to start seeing that reflection within your partnership? And I see it time and time again in other people. And I will say from my own personal experience, I've been in a relationship for 13 years. So I have a lot of experience with this. And my partner and I are committed in a conscious, sacred union, or conscious relationship, I should say. And it's bringing this awareness to each other that we're reflecting these energies within. And how can we evolve our souls and use our own wounds and coping mechanisms and codependencies to grow? Because there was a point in our relationship where he was working a ton and I felt like I didn't matter. And I'll tell you, the moment I started working with the energy, I matter, and my own beliefs around I matter, the dynamic in our relationship shifted like that. So it's truly a micro reflecting a macro in all aspects of our lives. Our relationships reflect us. Our relationships reflect deeper relationships outside, the society as a whole, the collective as a whole, and it continues to expand bigger and bigger. So doing this deep work allows you to make those conscious connections with your partner. And I'm going to keep referring to your partner because they're the closest one in your life, right? That's going to spark these moments of awakening within you, and also your kids. Your household unit that you live with is really those deep soul awakening connections. And then your immediate family outside that. And then you can take it to every aspect of your life, to your friendships, to the strangers on the street, to your coworkers. What are all of these people? What are all of these relationships in your life reflecting about yourself? And we love to point fingers. We're like, it's you. When you have one pointed finger, one finger pointed forward, you have three pointing back at you. No, all of these people in your life are just reflecting how you feel about yourself, the beliefs you hold about yourself, and the traumas you hold within yourself. And it is your job, if you want to live a more expanded and fulfilled life, you can stay as you are, be my guest, but it's your job to expand and use these relationships, these wounds, these emotions, these triggers to spark the energy within and expand your consciousness. So rather than going unconscious from place to place, from person to person, from the relationship in your life, blaming, playing the blame game, playing the victim, being guilty, being angry, being mad, whatever it is that is arising for you, can you start using your triggers and your relationships as your greatest gift to freedom, your greatest gift to awaken the divinity within, to remember who you are, and to shed old belief systems and patterns, because that's all energies you need to work with, not them. The key is to grow together. And when you grow together and you ping pong back off each other, and when you see the person as your greatest gift, your greatest treasure map, it will shift realities within your existence. And it's a really, really beautiful process, because everybody has this desire for safety. Everybody wants to feel safe in their body, safe with their partner, safe with their energy, safe in their homes. And that's one of the underlying limiting beliefs throughout everyone. Everybody's trying to belong and feel safe, because if they don't belong, they'll be exiled and won't be safe. So can you work with the energy of I am not safe? And how does that show up in your relationship? Do you not share your emotions because you don't feel safe to do so? Do you not speak your truth because you don't feel safe to do so? Are you in a relationship where you are just not safe in general? An abusive relationship, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it might be, that is reflecting that ideology that I am not safe. And that's a really challenging place to be, especially in those relationships, because it's mirroring back how you feel. And it's this loop. But can you have that power? Can you awaken within of not playing the victim and taking control of your life and claiming your power back to be strong enough to walk away? And a lot of times that's really hard to do. And that's why the deep spiritual work, the deep somatic work, the deep meditations, the processing is so important in our evolutionary journey, in our relationship journey, in our journey through life. It's one of our biggest tools. And when you start to grow this belief of I am safe, again, more doorways open, more pathways open, more fulfillment happens. Old relationships shed away, new relationships come in. Or maybe both of you and your partner are ping-ponging off of each other and growing together. And that's the most beautiful place to be, in my personal opinion. We really have to let go of expectations. You wouldn't expect a tree to fly. Legit. So why do you put so much expectation on the people in your life to fill your needs? They're not there to do that. They're just not there to do that. Because a partner isn't there to, or a friend isn't there, or a child isn't there to fill your needs. You need to fill your own needs. And we expect all of these things from people. My husband should do this. My wife should do this. No, they shouldn't. Maybe that's not their soul's path. The issue is you don't have the power to walk away. If that's truly what you need, walk away. And we have the expectations mainly because of programming, of brainwashing, of what we saw in movies, of what we see on TV, of what we grew up with, of that whole dynamic. And it's through the work that you shed those expectations and you connect back with yourself. So why do you put expectations on other people when they're just living their life? They're being exactly who they're supposed to be in this moment. Because all things are divine, remembering that truth, that everything is exactly as it's meant to be. And we put these expectations on other people because we're trying to have them fill our voids. We want them to change so we can be happier. But what if it's not supposed to be that way? What if they're being the person that they need to be in order to ignite and awaken your truth and your divinity And that's how we need to start to view all relationships, all situations, all aspects of our life. How is this happening for me? Not why is this happening to me? You step back and look at the consciousness, soul level of everything, the tedious tasks and things we get so caught up and emotional about seem so small. But when you let go of expectation and you come back to awareness of why these relationships are in our lives, of how they are reflecting our innermost being, our beliefs, our truths, our traumas, our pasts, how we might be even holding on to, or definitely are holding on to, traumas of the ancestral line, fears that might not even be ours. It gives us the power to make the choice to change within. And then it will be seen in the reflection in the world around you, a micro and macro. There's so much universal law that supports these truths: law of attraction, the law of correspondence, the law of belief, the law of oneness. And when you can shift your perspective to align with these truths, you claim your power. You step into your purpose and feel fulfilled in your heart and ride the wave rather than go against it. And the opportunity is to bring this awareness into our relationships, see them as our greatest teachers, and then bring our attention, our consciousness, our awareness into all aspects of our life. Bring intention and attention to cooking your dinner. Bring gratitude and love for your walk to work. Be conscious about all of your actions rather than going through the motions of the job, going through the motions of the partnership, going through the motions of your life. Gonna break that pattern and expand your awareness to see the beauty of it all. And as you expand this consciousness within yourself, and then you enter into a conscious relationship where you are working together to evolve, to grow, to shed patterns, shed beliefs, shed traumas within, to expand your own soul's journey and be in alignment with your own individual path. And then you can take it a step further and start to raise conscious children, teaching them the same ideologies. As my partner and I, like I said, we've been in a relationship for 13 years. It's been a wild ride. Who I am is not who I was in the very beginning, and the same is true for him. And who I am now is not who I was 2 weeks ago. And the same is very true for him. And that's the beauty of it all, riding the wave. But as we are at a point now of really thinking about having children and raising conscious children, right? And it starts before they're born. And that's another whole aspect of everything. It's of consciousness, of awareness, of attention, of putting intention into your life. It's not like, okay, let's just do it. Let's have a baby. We've spent time clearing our energies and our physical bodies and intertwining our souls on a deeper connection for this process. It's being intentional and infusing that intention in everything you do. So I'm preparing my body, I'm clearing any impurities out, detoxing the both of us. We're identifying patterns of the family relations that we grew up in and what we want to create moving forward. What's the type of parents we want to be? What are our morals, our values, our family dynamics, what we believe in, what we want to teach. We are connecting our own energies on a deeper level and clearing out any blockages, because our energies together are going to be the house for another energy to come in. So I'm getting my frequency, our frequencies up to a particular level that feels good for what we want to create and call in. And we are setting our intentions and bringing a lot of energy and love. We just traveled out to the West Coast to deepen this connection, deepen this intention, call in and start to communicate with the energy of the being and soul that wants to come into our lives. There's so many different things that go into play. And we haven't even gotten started with the process yet, right? Of what you think what it would look like. But it's taking this level of awareness into everything you do. I know for me, because I've been journeying deeply within myself, doing my meditations, my breath works, going into my shadow side, all of the things I love to do, And I know it will be one of the biggest initiations of my life to date, and what fears come up around that, and discussing the fears that we have with each other. A large one is like freedom for us. We love being free. We can do whatever we want whenever we want. How is that going to change if another being comes into our life? And how are we repelling that energy because we're holding on to that idea of freedom? The only way to shift that is to shift the belief, to shift the old paradigm that says you'll be locked, chained, and never leave your house again once you have kids. That so many people in society say. But this is what it means to consciously, for me at least, step into this path. And it's going to ebb and flow and change in many different ways as the process gets stronger and more aligned to where we are energetically. But this situation in general is going to expand the capacity of emotion and consciousness for both of us as well. So can you see your relationship with your children, if you have any, as the same thing? How are they your greatest teachers? What is the relationship reflecting back to you? How can you show up in a more conscious way with an open heart, and in order to expand the consciousness and emotional capacity of not only you, but your child? I always talk about it, but so often everybody just wants peace. We want fulfillment. We want to be happy all the time. And it's just not how this life works. It's not that you can't be happy all the time. It's you get good at riding the wave. We're supposed to pendulate up and down. We're supposed to go into the creation energies of joy, excitement, love, and ecstasy just as much so as we're supposed to go into the energies of anger, pain, grief. It's not that the emotions are too big. It's that your container to hold them is too small. And through this expansion of consciousness and awareness and knowing yourself, you expand your own container to hold emotional capacity, to hold fear, to hold anger, to hold grief. And when you expand that emotional capacity, it softens the sensation. And it's no longer something that is so horrible, and actually can become quite enjoyable. And we create many beautiful things from these places. It's connecting back to this idea that all situations in our lives are our greatest teachers. So can you see them as that? Can you perceive them as that? And can you use them to guide your way? And when you start to see every one of your relationships as conscious, as life-changing, as a gift, as a mirror, it will spark and awaken that divinity within for old layers of you to shut off. And you'll begin to remember that body, soul, connection, spirit that's always there. And when you can remember and awaken to that divinity within, that's when the elated feelings come in. And that's when your trudging through the shadows can become quite enjoyable. So as you interact with all of the different relationships in your life, and you take note and you reflect upon them all, can you see the gift in each one? How it's made you the person you are today? And can you remember that this gift can change your life? And by honing in on your attention and your awareness and your intention and expanding on your consciousness is truly what your soul yearns to do in this life. Can we activate that 90% of the brain? Can we activate that junk DNA? Can you live in this expanded state that's able to hold capacity for all things in life with ease and grace? Doesn't mean you don't get angry. Your relationship with the anger has just changed. It doesn't mean life is perfect. It just means you can ride the wave so it doesn't knock you off your board. And can you interact with the people around you in a more loving, compassionate, and grateful way? And thanks so much, guys, for chatting about all things that I love today. Relationships, consciousness, awareness, intention, superpowers, all the juicy stuff. I look forward to next time. Many blessings.